So Stationery and Office Supplies Limited, SOS, their board is preparing to meet to consider a stock split. So we're going to talk about that this morning. We're going to first introduce, well, we're going to start with the announcement of the, well, I'm not going to say the announcement of the split, but the notice that was posted on the JSE about the board meeting to consider the stock split. I'm going to talk about what a stock split is for a few minutes because some persons may not be familiar with that. And then we'll look at just a little bit about the company to try and understand a little bit about them as we wait to see further details on this. So let's get started.
Learning is the key to successful investing. And who doesn't want to invest in some way?
Here at L.E.A.R.N Grow Invest, we focus on financial education, all with the aim of sharing our knowledge on personal finance, investing, and building wealth. We do this on the foundation of our faith in God.
If a more holistic approach is what you need, check out our Grow Faith-based financial coaching program.
Find out more about us at learngrowinvestclub.com
and follow us on all social media platforms at Learn, Grow, Invest.
Right. So here we have a notice that was released just yesterday. The Board of Stationery and Office Supplies Limited is to meet on Wednesday, June 21st, which is tomorrow, to discuss and consider whether or not it should recommend a stock split to the company shareholders. The market value of the company's stock has been on a consistent growth trajectory, and the liquidity of the stock is also a significant consideration. So I'm just going to show you this graph here. Hopefully you can see this is a platform called Ticker. It's a platform that I use quite often. So this is showing SOS over the last 3 years. So 3 years ago, their price was about $6. And currently at the point of doing this video, the price is now $26, right? I'm going to bring up Moneyline here. So the stock actually halted a few minutes ago at $26. So 6 to 26 over the last 3 years. That would be close to, well, a little bit over 400%, if I'm not mistaken. So these were the orders that were filled this morning. The price currently sits at $26. It's halted now. It will unhalt at 10:30. So we'll see where the price settles at for today. And we'll talk about the price a little later, right? So I have here on Investopedia, a great resource for new investors, well, investors in general. It says here what a stock split is, how it works, with an example, of course, right? So a stock split is a corporate action in which a company issues additional shares to shareholders, increasing the total by the specified ratio based on the shares that they previously held. So in short, when you split, you're essentially creating more shares of the company. So let's say that you have 10 shares and you do a 2-to-1 split, you will now have 20 shares. All right, so that's what I mean by the specified ratio. So you typically see companies have a 2-to-1, a 10-to-1, 500-to-1, depending on, of course, factors such as the price, total shares outstanding, etc. So let's read a little bit more. So it says a split happens when a company increases the number of its shares to boost the stock's liquidity. Liquidity is the main reason why you may want to have a stock split. Although the shares outstanding increases by a specific multiple, the total dollar value of all the shares outstanding remains the same. And this is the part some persons may not understand. So let's say we have that same example where we have 10 shares and we do a 2-to-1, and each shares were valued at $5. That would be a total of $50. When you split 2-to-1, and the price now decreases by that same multiple, the total value of the shares remains the same, right? So that's why it's known that a split does not fundamentally change the company's value. Now, there are other factors that will change a company's value. For example, how investors respond to the stock split, right? So it says here the most common split ratios are 2-for-1 or 3-for-1. I'd say that's not what we see locally here in Jamaica. We more see maybe 10-to-1, 20-to-1, higher numbers. But this would be common for the US, right? So I'm just going to look at the key takeaways here again. and then we'll move on. So we spoke about the stock split is a company increasing its number of shares. We spoke about that there's no change to the fundamental value of the company based on that split. A company elects to perform a stock split to intentionally lower the price of a single share, making the company's stock more affordable, more liquid without losing its value. And something interesting that I don't believe, I'd have to probably ask David if we've had this, but reverse stock splits are the opposite, in which a company lowers instead of increases the number of shares outstanding, raising the share price accordingly, right? Not quite, it's not to be considered the same as a share buyback, but we will talk about that in another video, right? So it says here how a stock split works. So we spoke about that part before, and this is the part that you, again, may be interested in. So most investors are comfortable purchasing, say, 100 shares of a $10 stock as opposed to 1 share of a $1,000 stock, right? So this perception that you're getting more shares for the money when really you're spending the same value, right? And we saw the example with, for example, Palace Amusement shares that were selling for upwards of $3,000. It might have been difficult for somebody to spend $3,000 on a share versus spending, $3, right? So, okay, so I think that's it for now. So let's look at what else do I want to look at right now? Okay, so there was an article on IC Insider. Yeah, I wanted to touch on this as well. So this was actually posted last week, right? So it's actually interesting that this article was posted a week ago, and the notice came out of the board meeting to consider a split. So that was quite interesting for me to see. So it says here, business has been great for SOS over the past 2 years, with sales rising 55% over 2021 and 16% over the COVID-19 affected 2020 and 2021, and is up 22% for the first quarter. So it's speaking about the details of how the company has been performing here. The stock had nearly 2 million units up on offer June 5th at just under 16, but investors aggressively bought 1.5 million on that day, and the stock has since seen limited supply on offer. The $20 stock price level is believed to be the trigger point for the directors to seriously consider recommending splitting the stock to shareholders. The price hits its 52 weeks high on Monday, when it traded at a small quantity at $21 and closed there again Tuesday after 10,000 units traded, right? So this idea that there are not a lot of shares available, and so let me actually go to their most recent report so we can see how much is actually in the top 10. Their first quarter results should have it here. So we're not going to go through the report now. I think we'll do that in another video. I just wanted to see the top 10. Is the top 10 not shared here? All right, so we'll go to another, oh, here we go. All right, so the company has 250 million units outstanding. And right here, we see 200 million with Outlook Limited. So outside of the top shareholder, you only have 50 million shares outstanding, which already tells you that that's limited supply there. You have this about 15 million, 20 million, so maybe about 30 million shares available outside the top 10. So that definitely speaks to not many shares being available in terms of liquidity of the stock. So yeah, that kind of addresses what we're looking at. Current market cap stands at 5 billion. Of course, these values will change, of course, depending on how the trading goes for the company. So let's go back to the IC inside the article. So it says here, more than 91% of the issued shares are in the hands of the top 10 shareholders, thus reducing the potential supply that can come to the market with only 250 million shares issued. At the close of Tuesday's trade, stocks on offer below $25 amount to 7,200 units, with 80,000 on offer at $25. After that, the bid starts at $35. And that's actually what we're seeing in the queue this morning. So let's go back here. You're seeing here not a lot of orders. So after those orders for $26 got filled, every other order is above 30. And then, of course, these can change depending on how the persons who are selling is viewing the demand, right? So these prices may actually get a lot higher in the next coming days based on, persons who are ready to sell the price that they're willing to sell for. So it says here, stock splits are popular among investors in Jamaica, with each announcement accompanied by a hike in the price of the relevant stock, right? This is well documented here, and that's what we've seen. So the door is left open for a resolution to be put to the company's upcoming AGM for a stock split, as the annual report filed with the JSE stated that the date of the AGM was to be determined, right? So what this means is that we still have some time to go as to whether or not this will be confirmed, because if the board meets and agrees to it, then it still has to be voted on by the shareholders. So it would definitely be interesting to see how it trades from now until then. I do have, I think it would be interesting to do, I actually have an idea for some other videos that we could do as a result of this development now, but let me know. So this was actually meant to be a really short video to just kind of go through the details of the notice, etc. But I want to ask you in the comments below, let me know how much you think the stock, if they do decide to split, what type of split are you expecting to see? Is it 5-1, 10-1, 20-1? Let me know in the comments under the video, and we'll see, we'll look back and see which person, got it right. So not in the chat now, but under the comments, just let me know how you think the stock will split. And let me know if you have any questions. I am trying to get an interview with the CEO of the company, see if we can get some more insights as to the overall strategy of the company. And as more details come out, I'll try to cover it here on the channel with videos like this. You're going to see more videos like this, hopefully, coming up, where I try to at least cover some of the more relevant opportunities for education. So we're not necessarily looking to cover more news, but try to see if there are opportunities to do more educational content. So like today, we're able to introduce the concept of a stock split, and so we can have some learning around that. So let's see where it goes from here. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the very next video.
Learning is the key to successful investing. And who doesn't want to invest in some way?
Here at L.E.A.R.N Invest, we focus on financial education, all with the aim of sharing our knowledge on personal finance, investing, and building wealth. We do this on the foundation of our faith in God.
If a more holistic approach is what you need, check out our Grow Faith-based financial coaching program.
Find out more about us at learngrowinvestclub.com
and follow us on all